This video is going to cover section 2.4, applications of sets. You're going to see a couple of extra colors here. I had to reset my pen and there was some issues. So this is take 2 of the video. We're going to go right into an example, and then I'm going to show you how to start the one problem that goes with this assignment. Okay. So we have a music teacher surveyed 495 students, and the results are as follows. 320 like rap, 395 like rock, 295 like heavy metal, 280 like both rap and rock, 190 like both rap and heavy metal, 245 like rock and heavy metal, and 160 like all three. So I do have some questions that go with this. They're down here. We want to find out how many only like rock, how many only like rap, and how many like none. So what we have to do with all this information is set up a system where we can kind of organize where each of these fall, okay? So we're going to go ahead and use Venn diagrams for this one. For these types of problems, I recommend you start at the bottom. So it tells us that 160 students like all three types of music. So that means that that's going to be right in the middle. So right here in the middle, 160. This is where all three of my circles intersect. I'm going to move it up just a little bit. And this would represent the area that where all students like all three, okay? We're going to go ahead and make our way up, and you're going to see how this is going to come out nicely in the end. So we have that 245 students like both rock and heavy metal. So for this one, I'm going to look at my rock circle, which is the yellow one, and my heavy metal, which is the purple one, well, or pinkish one, okay? You want to see where these two circles overlap. So I can tell that that section is right here, okay? Where that 160 is, and then this part right here is. However, it tells us that there's 245, and we already have 160 of those students accounted for. So to figure out what goes in this piece, we need to subtract. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that so it doesn't look too crazy. So for this one, I'm going to actually subtract 245 minus 160, and that should give me 85. So this number is 85. Okay, we're going to use the same method to calculate the next one. So we have 190 students like both rap and heavy metal. So we have now the blue circle and again the pinkish circle down here. So we're looking at this piece now because that's where these two circles overlap each other. And just like the problem before, I already have 160 of those. So I need to figure out what goes in this box right here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and just subtract. So here I'm going to do 190 minus 160, which is 30. Okay, moving on. Same method. Now we have that 280 students like both rap and rock. So now we're looking at my blue circle and my yellow circle. And we're going to look at the place where these two cross. So that would be this section right here. And again, we're going to just subtract that 280 minus the 160. But you know what? Let me get rid of those lines first. All right, so 280 minus 160 is 120. So 120 would be the one that goes here. Okay, and believe it or not, we're mostly done. Okay, so notice that we're still missing a few pieces. We're missing this one, and this one, but they're actually not that hard to figure out. What we're going to do is we know that 320, and that's the reason why that's blue right there, like wrap. So that means that in total, this circle should add up to 320. Well, so far we have 120, 160, and 30. So we know that 120 plus 160 plus 30 plus something else has to equal to 320. So how would we calculate that? Well, it's just a little bit of algebra, or you could even think of it as arithmetic. You would add these up and subtract from 320. So in reality, what we're doing is this 320 minus all of that. So 120 plus 160 plus 30. And you just do basic math. So 120 plus 160, that's 280, plus 30 is 310. So it looks like we're left with 10. So this would just be 10. So that means that only 10 students like rap. And that's one of our answers down here. You scroll down a bit, letter B says, how many only like rap? The answer is 10. Okay, we're going to do the same thing and just go ahead and fill out the rest of this. So if I were to look at rock now, okay, rock would be, let's see, 395. So 395 minus the entire total. So minus the 120, put that in parentheses. So 120 plus 160 plus 85. You can do the math on really quickly if you like. I'm going to do it in my head real fast. Let me see, 280, 265. I'm getting 30 for this one. Okay, so 30 students only like rock. Let's go ahead and do the last one just because. So for heavy metal, and I'm out of space, I'm going to go ahead and do it down here. For heavy metal, we have 295 total, okay, minus these three. So minus 30 plus 160 plus 85. So let's see, what's that going to give us? That's 190, 275, I believe. Yeah, so 295 minus 275 is going to give us 20. So this is just 20. Okay, and we have one more calculation to do, but before we do that, I'm going to just fill out what I know. Make sure that you do get all this information, okay? I'm going to scroll down a bit. So only like rock, the answer for that one, we have it right here, was 30, okay? We already have the answer for B. Now the answer for C is a little bit tricky because it says likes none. So first of all, where would that even fall? Well, remember that the universe includes those 495 students. So the none would be out here somewhere. And how do you think we would calculate that? Well, we did, for the other ones, we did the total. So let me write that down here. We did the total minus all the regions, minus regions. Or you could even think of it as a circle, so that's easier, okay? So the total number of students for this problem was 495, okay? Minus all the regions. So we have to add up all these regions. So let's go ahead and do that. We have 10 plus 120 plus 160 plus 30 plus 85 plus 30. I'm out of space. Plus 20. Let me erase that so I can put some space here. So pretty much what I'm doing is I'm just adding up all the numbers, okay? So let's do that real quick. Let's see, it's going to be 130 plus that's 290, 320, 405, 435, 455. I'm getting 455 for all of this. I'm pretty sure it's right. So 495 minus 455 is going to give us 40 students. So that means that 40 students are over here in the universe and they don't like that kind of music. They perhaps like country or something. I don't know. Maybe they like mariachi. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much it. And this is how we use Venn diagrams to organize our information and to figure out, who likes what or who, depending on the situation, who did what sport, stuff like that. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and scroll over to this lovely problem. You are going to have one problem only to solve for this section. And it's kind of a doozy. Okay. So I typed out some of the information you're going to be given. It's number 29, I believe, in your text. And you have a really, really weird looking Venn diagram that goes with this. I'm gonna attempt to draw that here on the side. Go ahead and read that through while I'm doing this because it takes a little bit of concentration for me to draw lines, I suppose. Okay, and let me take a look at your problem. All right, so if I remember right, this is asking you about internet users, and there's four different search engines. So in this, we have four kind of like ellipse, not even circles. They look like ovals. Okay, so they're like ellipses. So you have one like this, and this represents ask. I wonder if you all even know. Honestly, I haven't even heard of that search engine, but ask. And then we have Bing. So this one is Bing. I know I've heard of that one. And then we have Yahoo. So Yahoo is kind of like here in the middle. Make sure I did it right. Oh, actually, let me see. 2, 3, 4. Actually, I got to make it a little bit wider. Still not quite. Yeah, so just drawing the picture is going to be a little bit challenging for this one, but you'll get it. I mean, it took me a while. Let me just make sure. And then and this was Yahoo. Okay. And the last one they have is Google, which is, the more popular one, I guess you could say. So then we have Google right here. Okay. And essentially what you're being asked is how many use Google, how many use three of the four, and how many don't use any of the four. So I will tell you that I believe this one, the answers are in the back. So you can check your answers there. Okay. But I am going to require you to figure out this crazy diagram. Okay, so I'm going to start you off just to kind of give you like some hints. Okay, you are going to start at the bottom. So just like we did the first example, you want to start here because that gives you the middle area. 60 use all four. So in these crazy four circles or ovals or whatever you want to call them, where do you think the middle would be? I would say it's somewhere right here. So let's check. Is it this spot? See, this spot it's inside Bing, it's inside Google, it's inside Ask, but it's not inside Yahoo. So that's not the spot. So maybe this one. So let's see. This is inside Yahoo, it's inside Ask, it's inside Bing, and it's inside Google. So yes. So my 60 would go right here. Okay, it's going to take a little bit of, I recommend drawing this pretty big so you can have a good idea and, not having to erase too much. I'll do two more with you, and then you're gonna have to figure out the rest as your homework. So now we're gonna look at the next one. So it says 45 use ask and Bing. So ask is my blue circle, and Bing is the pinkish purple circle here. So these two overlap right here. Okay, yes, but I only want the part that has ask and Bing. So I know that I'm gonna have my 45 here. And I believe in the instructions, it says it uses only. So in your book, this will say only. So that means that unlike the previous example, oh, sorry, this one. Well, all of them, really. Where am I? Where am I? 30, down here. So if it says only, you don't have to subtract, which makes it way easier. Okay, so 45 use ask and Bing, that's going to be right here. Okay, let's do one more. I'm gonna use blue. 30 use Yahoo and Bing. So now we're looking at my yellow oval here and Bing. So this one down here. So these two intersect in this entire section right here. So all this, but I only want it to be in those two only. So I can't pick this one because that overlaps, that overlaps, that overlaps, that overlaps. Here's my number. So 30 goes right here. So it's going to be interesting. What I want to see for this problem is I want to see this diagram filled out and correctly. Okay. So that's it, guys. Good luck with this problem. If you have a lot of issues, let me know and I'll try to help you. I don't want to give you the answer for this one. Like I said, the answers are in the back, so you can get the answers. What I want to see is this process. I want to make sure you know how to plug in numbers into a Venn diagram. Okay, that's it. Thanks.